All right, to do example 4 on this page, and I grabbed a fresh sheet because I messed up trying to do it earlier. We need to go up to that box again and pull out this formula for the nth partial sum. So in a sequence that is not finite, it goes on forever, sometimes you can actually take a sum of the entire sequence, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But when we do a partial sum, that's just going to be a certain amount of terms. So in example 4, we're finding a partial sum of the first 50 terms of a sequence. So I'm going to copy just my algebraic partial sum formula. The sum of n terms is equal to the first term times 1 minus the common ratio to the power of n over 1 minus the common ratio. And that works when when the ratio is not equal to 1. And if the ratio is equal to 1, if you think about that, all the numbers in the sequence would be the same number. So you would just multiply them by 50 if you had the same number 50 times. All right, so in example 4, we're finding the sum of the first 50 terms. Our common ratio is not going to be 1. Pick two numbers and divide. I'm going to divide 3 by 2. So 3 over 2 is my common ratio. And I could write that as 1.5 if I want. All right, so now let's plug this information in. We know we're finding the sum of the first 50 terms. We know our first term is the number 2. And then we are going to do 1 minus, I'm going to write it as 1.5 to the power of n. And that's over 1 minus 1.5, close parentheses. Keep in mind the order of operations here. So we're not subtracting first, but we're doing 1.5 to the power of n first. All right, so I'm just going to plug this in my calculator, or at least do one part at a time. So let's see, for that numerator, I could do 1 minus 1.5. And you know, I wrote n again, but we already said that n is 50. So change that to a 50. So 1 minus 1.5 to the power of 50. All right, that's a pretty big negative number. I'm going to divide that by 1 minus 1.5, or negative 1/2. And then I'm going to multiply that by the first term, 2. So I should get, let's see, 2 5s, 5 0 4 8 5 9 9 7. So what is that? 2,550,485,997. All right, that's it for example 4. There's just a short video with the last page coming up.